What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, Arsenal 2, Tottenham 1, and you know what? Started like a million miles an hour. Spurs take the lead. Sonny with the deflected shot, but look, that was pretty much the only chance that we had throughout the whole game, and that was a half chance in itself. And I just felt like, look, Arsenal deserved the win today because I just felt like we just failed to break them down. And over the stretch of 2 games, right, and the home game and the away game, that Sonny half chance is pretty much the only thing we've created against them over the course of the 2 games. And we just couldn't break them down for love nor money. And I just don't think most of the Spurs players really turned up today, apart from Lucas Bergvall. Who else turned up today?
Yeah, it's very frustrating, to be honest, because you look this season, it's just a very, very frustrating performance. And I don't know, like, I think it was 2 poor teams. I thought it was 2 poor teams out there today.
They were the better of the poor teams.
Yeah, they were the better. We really struggled to create, but I think it was 2 poor teams out there. I thought they didn't create too much. I know Rice has said after the game that he thinks they should have scored 10.
That's
but
bullshit.
I didn't see that too many clear-cut chances being created. I actually thought we kept them out quite well at most of the time. I thought first half, when the game was at 0-0, I think they were obviously in control and they were the ones pushing forward. But I thought we did create a few chances. Solanke had a chance, Decky had a chance, which they forced a save out of Raya. And then obviously we took the lead. We went 1-0 up. But obviously Arsenal were always the ones looking more likely to score. But we actually did have a couple of openings in the early exchanges. I wouldn't say we deserved the lead, but obviously we got the lead through Son. And I thought we were defending their corners really well. Most of the time, I thought in open play they didn't create much. Kinski obviously got caught on the ball once, which he got away with because he dived at the ball. But after that, I thought he composed himself and did quite well. And so I thought we were defending quite well up until the goal. And then it should never have been a corner. It should never have been a corner. We know that. It was clearly a goal kick, and we got really unlucky in that moment. And then more unlucky, the corner comes in, Dragusin beats Gabriel to the ball. It goes in off Solanke, and it's a really unfortunate own goal. And then we were saying at that point, like just before the goal went in, I think they scored 5 minutes before the break, we were saying, get it to half-time, Yeah, if we get to half-time, that would be a big milestone. But not only did we not get there, we then obviously conceded a second. And Basuma, horrible mistake in the middle, gets caught on the ball. And then bam, Trossard, far post. I think Kinski's got to save it. I think Kinski should be saving that. It goes over his arm. And that's the one thing we were saying about Kinski, like he hasn't really been tested from a shot stopping point of view. And we know that, we think that's what Vicario's probably strength over Kinski is. Everyone's saying Vicario will struggle
Vicario
to get back
saves
in.
that.
I think Vicario saves that. Yeah, I
I
think he's a better shot stopper. Maybe that's what we've seen, because we've had a couple of moments now with Kinski shot stopping. He nearly fumbled on against Liverpool as well. Look, I think he's been brilliant. I'm not criticising him massively. I just do think he should save that. And I thought by and large he was brilliant from corners. He was punching them. And I thought he was that from that point of view. Would Vicario have done that from the corners? So I thought he was brilliant. So. Yes, he got caught in the ball, but I thought he composed himself and actually put a really good first half performance.
It's a big, but it's cost
going
us in
2-1 down.
It
did, and then going 2-1 down. That's exactly where Arsenal want you.
That's the thing though with Kinski. You got to praise his performance, but ultimately his mistake is the one that cost us the game today.
Yeah, that and obviously the referee mistake. 2 mistakes.
But that's the most frustrating thing about it. Because look, I was happy with Kinski's display, but you did see a few flaws there. Obviously getting caught on the ball. And the mistake that he did make for the goal. So look, I just don't think that we can sit here and say it was a good performance today by any stretch of the imagination. It wasn't 2 great teams going up against each other, but Arsenal were definitely the better of the 2 today. I think the stats officially read 4 big chances to Arsenal, 1 big chance to Spurs.
Yeah, they created a few more than us. I think the XG is quite similar though. I think it's like 1.08 to 0.83.
But
so
I do think if Arsenal are more clinical, they're going to batter us today.
Potentially, I think if they had a better front line, they would have battered us, but they didn't. And I thought their front line lacked quality. That's my point. I'm saying
we stayed in the game till the end. You know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any chances. No, we had in the second half.
I think we hit the outside of the.
That was the last kick of the game.
Yeah, literally.
And it was never going in.
That's all we had.
Yeah, I guess one slight positive. I thought Richarlison had a decent cameo when he came on. I thought he was all right, but obviously, I thought we were just toothless last 20 minutes. Like you're asking us to kind of ask questions of them. very rarely whipping balls in, especially when we have Richarlison and Solanke there. We have to have Porro whipping it to that back post, or Decky whipping it to that back post.
Today.
And they weren't. They were reluctant to do it. On the occasions they did it, obviously Arsenal did gobble it up, but you've got to be kind of spamming it because we know they've got big centre-backs, Gabriel and Saliba, very good in the air, so you've got to test them more. If you just do it once or twice, they'll easily just head it away and it'll be tougher. So,
But they dealt with us easily, didn't they?
yeah,
They completely dealt with us easily. We were numb, absolutely numb today. And when you come to the Emirates, you need to do more than that. You know, we did a lot more than that last season. Last season, you know, we were creating chance after chance, particularly in the first half. And even in the second half, we had a bit. And this year was a far cry from that.
Yeah.
Far cry from that. And look, Arsenal deserve the win, and you've got to hold your hands up because we weren't good enough today to get anything out of the game.
It's hard to disagree. I thought at 2-1, you know, we got a whole second half to try back in the game. We did make early changes, and we just couldn't do it. We couldn't really create anything. No, Arsenal, we know Arsenal are very good.
But there were a lot of no-shows today in the team. A lot of no-shows.
Solanke, so I thought Solanke had a poor game.
I kept saying in the weeks gone by, in last week, you know, I was talking to you about, you know, before we were talking about the predicted lineup the day before, and I was like, Decky probably shouldn't start because he's too tired, and I think he put in a proper lethargic, tired performance today.
Yeah, he did.
So I mean, what is
Solanke as well?
And,
I thought Solanke did as well.
And I get Kulusevski's been our best player this season, but if you're clearly running on empty, right? So what's the point in playing?
I don't know. That's Ange's decision. I don't know. I don't know.
Rest will do him a lot better.
Yeah, I think he needs a rest. I think him and Solanke are really running themselves into the ground. They've had a lot of minutes. Hopefully with Richarlison now available, maybe he can take some of those minutes and we'll start seeing more. I thought he looked a bit sharper. But yeah, look, there were a few no-shows. I thought Sonny, I know he scored his goal, fantastic, but other than that, little to show for it. I thought Sarr and Basuma had poor first halves. Again, the only
Bergval's the only one.
The only Bergval. I thought again, Bergval, Spence, Gray. They're the three, and Kinski even at times. But those three especially were the ones that came out with a lot of credit.
You know what made me think over the last couple of weeks? We go on about who the best team is, and you know, in terms of the best quality of team, Bergval and Gray obviously don't get into the starting lineup, right? But when you look back at pre-season, we kept saying, oh, we actually look quite poor, but when these youngsters play, we looked really good, we looked really exciting. And it's the same now. It's the same players stepping up right now than we saw in pre-season.
Yeah.
And we were saying back in pre-season, oh, they're young, you know, they'll get to grips with it, and the more experienced players, you know, they'll get back on form. But these guys, apart from Kulusevski, they've never really got back on form.
Yeah, they've struggled for consistent form, I would say. And they've had
but it's
some
the young
good
players that keep impressing, that impress back in pre-season.
Yeah, Bergval and Grave are currently, definitely over the last few games, have been our most consistent players. And again, Bergval had another really solid performance. I thought he was really good again.
But the more experienced players, need to step up in these moments.
Yeah,
and they didn't step up today.
They're not.
They didn't, because Basuma
struggling.
put in a shocker. His mistake crossed the goal today. Pedro Porro, I don't think, stepped up today. And you know, you talk about some of these players are still young, but there are experienced players. And they need to step up.
You're right, and they were off it again. And you know, wasn't, he kind of said, he called them, not the players, but he was saying after the game, we didn't go into the game with the right mentality, and we were too passive. And it wasn't the right
Why are we not
mindset.
going into the game
Maybe,
with the
I
right
don't know,
mentality?
maybe
This is a North London derby.
We were too passive, he said, and we should never be like that. And look, the results are the results. We could be
11th loss of the season.
We could be 14th by the end
Joint
of tomorrow.
15th as well.
Joint 15th, and that this can't continue, of course. I know it's continued for 21 games. The fixtures are getting a little easier, hopefully, now. It's been a very, very tough run, and it's another look. Obviously, the results are not acceptable, and if this is where we're going to end up, then it will cost him his job eventually. But I don't think right now, with the situation we're in, with the cup competitions coming up, semi-finals, I think you just got to stick with it and again assess it at the end of the season. I think that's the best.
It's all about Liverpool, isn't it?
Liverpool's
right
a massive
now,
game.
It's all about Liverpool.
I think the next four as well, because we've got 2 Europa League games. We need to be in that top 8. I think that's important as well to relieve that pressure of the amount of games we're having.
Midweek, is it? Hoffenheim next week.
Yeah.
We've got Everton this weekend, then Hoffenheim,
and then Leicester, and then Elfsborg.
And then Elfsborg. Okay, and then the Liverpool game.
So, and I know it's a tough defeat and it's a tough one to take, especially against them lot. But I'll tell you what, I will say this. I know it probably will sound bitter saying at the end of this video, but watching them play, I just don't think they're going to win the league. I really don't think they're going to win the league playing like that, because I didn't think they played too good, and I think they will be dropping points a lot if they're going to continue to play like that without Saka.
I do agree with that, but the reality is, right, Liverpool ain't playing well at the moment. Nottingham Forest are actually playing probably the best football. They're probably the most informed team in terms of title race team in the league. And you're looking at them, they drew with Liverpool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they keep this run going, look, Nottingham Forest, it'll be a complete dream and complete shock if they do it. But if you're saying that it's Liverpool versus Arsenal in the title race, I don't know, man. I think
see
it's
it, not with them
I
playing
can't.
like that. Not
No,
with them
I
playing like
agree.
that.
I agree with them playing like that. But Liverpool are playing poorly as well at the moment.
Not that badly. Liverpool should have beaten Forest. They were much better.
But
they
they
created
beat
lots
us.
of chances.
They beat us. They won. Arsenal.
I know they won, but playing like that, I'm saying if they play like that on Sunday against Villa, they won't win.
Yeah, probably.
They won't win.
Probably. But I just still think like until it's over, it's not over. Like Arsenal are still in it. You know, they're banging it.
I'm not denying that. I'm just saying, in my prediction, based off what I'm seeing, if they continue to play like that, they will not be winning the league. That's what I'm saying.
But again, if Liverpool carry on playing like they're playing, like you'd probably say they wouldn't win the league either.
I disagree.
They won't win the league
I disagree. If Liverpool play like they did yesterday and Arsenal play like they did today, Liverpool will 100% win the league. 100%.
Yeah. Maybe someone else can. Maybe it will be Forest if they both keep carrying on like this.
Yeah, maybe. But look, big up to I guess Bergwall and Gray, the two teenagers who just keep putting in shifts and keep being standout players. So fair play to them. But the rest of them, it was just terrible for a North London derby. Just not good enough.
Yeah, it reminded me of like the North London derbies of like basically pre-last year because they've all been poor. Like 3-4 years in a row, we've had like complete shockers there, and that was another one.
Yeah,
that was another one. Yeah. So it's not like we're not used to it, but. Yeah, we'll see you back in the studio tomorrow to delve even deeper. Thank you everyone for joining today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.